Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And we're Eastside Vibes. Today we're talking about an album that I actually didn't expect to review.
Love it.
So this is an artist that like you would probably expect me to like know about because I'm into a lot of alternative R&B.
Correct.
But I actually did not really know a lot about Kehlani at all. We're doing Kehlani'S Crash.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of surprised when I did a research about her going into this album,
Mm-hmm.
How I don't want to say how well received her music was. I guess I didn't know about it.
Right.
Even
though
because
you know a lot about music, right?
And I didn't like her album, that Sweet Sexy Savage 2017 one was considered one of the best albums of the year by a lot of publications.
I can't remember the name, but I know the one in 2022 was really reputable too.
Yeah,
a lot of
that one
got
was.
into that.
So I was a little surprised. I'm like, how was I sleeping on someone like this? Who's this popular for this long? Who makes the style of music that I'm really into too?
Very much so.
But I was pleasantly surprised. The reason that I decided to review this on my blog was because one of the songs was going viral on TikTok and it samples a song that I like a lot. I'm like, this is cool. I want to see what else you can do. Then I was very surprised at the sound of this because I guess I didn't know a lot about Kehlani's music. I think I'd heard a couple songs maybe that she had been featured in.
Okay.
And that was about it for me.
She's good.
And so I didn't know what to expect going into this. And there's a lot on here that I did not see coming at all.
Right. I agree.
It's cool to me because I guess her artistry is very vast, obviously.
Yes, and that comes across in her music too.
Yeah,
it's
you can
there's
tell
different sounds and things.
I kind of want to go back to a couple of her older albums and see if they're like this.
Okay.
Because I did read that this one's a bit more experimental.
Yep, she said that in an interview with I think it was Birdie magazine. She said that for sure. What did she say to me? She said to me, I wish. There was something that she said. Prior to this, she had to perform really sweet, any music, but Crash is turned up and absorbing energy because she's before this album, it was kind of she had this genre she had to be a part of, and then for this one, she's I'm breaking the mold.
I think we keep saying she, but
sorry, yes.
Kehlani actually goes by she or they.
Right,
so.
Yeah. She doesn't mind when people say she at all, but something feels really affirming when people say they. It feels like you really see me. So she does go by both. She doesn't, get offended. So if we refer to her as she or they, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was writing about it, I was writing they. But anyway, I think when I, was... my image of Kehlani's music was that sweet and softer thing. I thought that Kehlani made music that was similar to Kali Uchis.
Yep.
And so when I heard this, I'm this isn't obviously, it's not like that at all.
Nope, not at all.
And so I was this is way different than what I saw coming. But anyway, before we get into it, is there anything else? Because I actually don't know a lot about Kehlani. Do you have any facts for us?
Sure. So first of all, her name is Hawaiian. It's K and Lani, and it means sea and sky or sea heavens. So a lot of people, they said when a lot of people heard her name, they expected she was Hawaiian, but she's not at all. She actually is African American, Native American, Caucasian, Spanish, and Filipino.
Yeah, I always knew she was Filipino.
Yeah,
she's really big, or they are really big in Asian communities, I think.
Correct. In my opinion, okay, so this is in my opinion, I feel that you can hear the ethnicity in some of the songs that they sing. It's you can hear she's bringing her sound, her ethnic sound into it. There's a few of them. One of them that, for example, and I'm just going to name them, in Lose My Wife, I find that she's very R&B. What I Want, obviously, I feel that's more pop. Better Not is actually country. views, and we'll talk about that. Chapel, I think, is a little more EDM, and Crash is more soft metal. So her songs are all over the place, and she admits that it's not just like one tune throughout the whole thing. She's everywhere, and I love that. Love it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool for sure.
Yep.
But before we, or like always, like what we're gonna talk about some of our favorite songs, and then get into how we feel about the whole thing at the end. And
I told him it was very difficult for me to pick 3 songs, and
that
I
cool.
don't think has happened like on any album we've done this year. I had a really hard time picking 3 songs.
Well, I knew that, like, so I thought that like you would actually like the Tinashe one more. But when you didn't, and then I reviewed this, I'm like, I feel like this is probably gonna be like what you're into more.
Yep.
Which is funny because when we talk about at the end, like, we talk about how I feel about that too.
Yep.
But anyway, the first song we picked is After Hours. That's the song that's been going viral. That reason that I decided to review this. Because the song is like a pretty direct sample of the song "Move Your Body" by Nina Sky. Like
Move your body, girl.
the way the instrumental starts in the beginning, the melody is like pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, she does that in a couple songs too. She brings melodies from other songs.
When you hear it, like, this is cool, but but then like after the first like 20 seconds, some like almost like, it's funny you mentioned her name's Hawaiian. It like, to me, like it almost sounds like a xylophone or something. It sounds like a Hawaiian tune. Like, comes over that melody.
Yep.
And in a way, it kind of sounds off key, but like in a cool way.
Right.
Like, I could see, like, because I think there's a debate on TikTok about it, like whether or not like they like if the pitch correcting on this song was wrong or something. Because of the way it sounds off key. But I'm like, I think it's just mixed that way on purpose. Because it sounds.
I agree.
It's supposed to sound quirky.
Right, I agree. This, like we said, this album is something different, she said. It's not the sweet voice that she's done in the past. So I think she just tried everything. So I agree with you. She probably did that or they did it on purpose.
Like that Move Ya Body has like definitely like a darker, more like dirty melody. And when you put this kind of like weird off-key, like lighter melody on top of it, it makes it sound like it definitely gets stuck in your head.
Right.
And that's the point. I would say, like, vocally on this song, this probably is, at least for me, the least strong one.
Correct.
Of the ones I picked, at least.
Correct.
Like, her vocals on this one are fine, but like it's definitely more about like the way the instrumental and the beat makes you feel.
I agree.
And that's the point of it. I was actually like out at a bar last night, and like I heard this song, so like it's working.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's working, obviously, which is good for her. Because I don't know if I've ever heard like a Kehlani song out, which means she's getting like,
noticed.
big,
yeah,
in that way. But yeah, as far as like, because the lyricism on this album on some songs seems really deep, and then other songs not so much. This is one of like the less deep ones, I would say.
Yep. Another one we chose is less deep too.
It's definitely kind of about just like trying to like, get like someone you met at the club to go back to your place with you.
Right.
That's literally what it's about.
Agree.
And this song has like the energy of like late night on a dance floor. Things are winding down. Like it's still like poppy and upbeat, but like it has almost like an end of the night feeling to me.
Yep. After hours of a bar.
Yeah, that really fits like the theme of the song. Obviously, the theme of the lyricism.
Right.
But that's After Hours. The next song we picked is Crash, and that's my favorite song on this album. I've been listening to it a lot, so it's probably one of my favorite songs of like the first half of the year so far. I would say.
Downloaded that baby for sure.
And like the thing that this was actually one of my mom's picks, but like I would have picked it too. And I showed you this before we started recording. There's a song that this immediately reminded me of that I absolutely love. It's like one of my favorite songs, and that's "City of Angels" by Miguel. It has like this very deep, like funky, like hard rock melody that feels very inspired by like Lenny Kravitz.
I got a little bit of SZA in there too, in her just the way she's
I could
singing
see.
Crash.
I could say her vocals.
Her
yeah,
vocals,
but
like, yeah, the way she's singing in that.
I think the
very much
instrumental
vocal.
is like Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, I just.
And Lenny Kravitz, like,
I love
was
this
obviously very inspired by Prince, but he was also, like, seemed to be inspired maybe by, like, Ozzy or
could be.
some, like, Lenny. Like, he had
Yeah.
some metal
Yes, he
into
did.
his sound. And Prince really didn't.
No, he
Prince was a
didn't.
lot softer.
We might have to review a Lenny at some point.
But-
Oh, I love Lenny Kravitz.
But, yeah, that's why to me this feels more like Lenny than Prince, and then actually Prince, because
Right.
Lenny had a little bit of a harder...
Right. Oh, and two, we watched
Sound.
the video yesterday,
Yeah,
and she actually plays the guitar.
Yeah. No, like that's another reason it reminds me of Miguel, because I've like seen him playing City of Angels live on the guitar.
Okay.
And it has that that song. This song is a very deep like riff that
Yep.
kind of drives the melody.
Speaking of live, apparently she said that this album is meant to be performed live.
I mean, a lot of the songs have more of an instrumental
Right.
feel.
I'd see her if she came. I could see her like coming to the rave or something like that.
Yeah.
I would go 100%.
Yeah, I don't really know like how or when she tours, but yeah, I guess I'll let you talk about why you like Crash.
So it's basically everything that he said. It's almost the same thing. It's got like what I called soft metal to it. So that would be the Miguel and the Lenny Kravitz. It's not like the. Like,
It's very R&B though.
it is. So like when Lenny Kravitz did "Are You Gonna Go My Way," that is a stronger like rock type of thing. But this one is just it's softer, and I just her singing. It's in my head right now. I can't get rid of the melody in my head.
Yeah,
The
I
fact
love
that
like the raspiness on her voice on like the notes she hits. It's really nice.
So good. It's so good. So she actually commented in an interview. She had some comments regarding the song. So she said it's about the imperfections of love. Two imperfect people can create a solid love, and you kiss me like you want to make love to my effing demons. So those are things that she said basically are what it's about, is that you have this, again, like always, you have a love that, you like, but in this one, she's like, basically, we love each other, we both have our demons, but we're willing to crash and be together in it. And that's and then I feel it also reflects how two people can just crash or be with each other regardless of your weak spots.
Yeah. I kind of got
Everything.
too that I think she was kind of saying like you don't want to know like these really bad things about me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she's like
Exactly.
just like don't even ask.
Right. I've got my demons, you've got
Yeah.
your demons,
Let's just not
be
even
together.
do it.
Yep,
yeah.
let's just be together.
I actually love that sentiment. I think that's
Yep.
really cool. It's like in my opinion, you don't need to know everything about someone.
No,
Like
you don't.
just know enough that works for
That
you
love
guys.
them.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
That's-
It's like with
it's all that
your
matters
dad and
anyway.
I. We don't
Yeah.
know everything about each other's past, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we've been together for like lifetime,
Yeah.
basically. But I'm surprised this one has not gone viral.
Like the thing is, I keep comparing to City of Angels. That is not one of the more popular
that's what you
songs
said
on
that.
that album.
You said
It's I love that song, and I feel like this one's a little too like I guess rocky in a way.
That's true. Yeah, you
That
wouldn't
kinda
find
stuff
that at a
doesn't-
bar or something
That stuff
like that.
doesn't go viral these days
Yeah.
usually unless it's like more indie sounding, and
That's
this is
true.
like heavier sounding.
This live would be awesome.
Oh yeah, this
Oh my
in my
gosh.
opinion this would be the best song to see live.
This would be great.
But or maybe another song that I'm gonna mention would
Okay.
be really good live too.
Okay, so that's Crash.
Yeah, that's Crash. The next song that we picked is 8. That's another one my mom's picks. What's funny is this was probably my least favorite song on the album. I don't think it's like bad, but like
It's quirky.
Well,
it's just kind of like after
in my
hours.
in
it's
my
just kind of
opinion, it's
there.
actually not quirky. I think
Really?
it's very very basic sounding.
Basic. I would say quirky basic.
I
Yeah.
I think I wrote that this reminds me of Doja Cat.
Yes.
And that I like Doja Cat. Like that's fine. Like she has a good sound, but it's not the sound of the song that gets me. It's like
The
the lyrics
lyrics.
and like I know like what this is supposed to be.
Yes.
Mom's trying to like put some like deeper meanings into the lyrics. I'm like,
that's what she said.
This is supposed to be the one that's supposed to be going viral for sure.
So what do you say that it means?
It's literally it's like supposed to go. It's like her saying that like she ate, and it's just like her repeating 8, 8, 8, like 10 minus 2 equals 8. I'm like,
right.
Stop. Like, you just want this to go viral on TikTok, so all these girls are posting themselves in their outfits saying, and with this song playing, that was the purpose of this.
And you said that, what does 8 mean when it comes to
like,
that?
I don't know, you look good, or you're doing good,
okay.
or whatever.
All
yeah.
right.
Like,
that's
you're
not
popping.
what I got.
You're popping. Maybe she's trying to, like, trying to, like, put it into the context of this album.
That's true.
Because I will also say, I don't think this fits as much in with the album. Lyrically or sonically. It's like the one that sticks out. That's why I really think it's supposed to be that song. And normally, people don't do that on like an 11-song album. That's like kind of like concept like this.
Because she says, keep saying 10 minus 2 is 8. Yeah. I mean, that's...
To be fair, Schoolboy Q did that. There's a couple of songs on there where like these do not fit in with it at all. They're supposed to be like for the internet.
Yeah. Well, what caught me right off the bat with this song is that the intro is you heard Poison, a little bit of Poison.
I looked into it, and you're right. It's definitely this one.
Oh,
I think that Poison might sample this.
Could be.
And that's why I heard that.
So it samples It Takes Two by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. So it's like, it takes two to make a thing. That one. Okay.
What's funny is like it doesn't sound like that for the rest of the song.
No,
if
not
it would have
at all.
done that, I probably would have really liked it.
Yeah, it just intros it and then it goes its own way.
It goes into like that Doja Cat sound.
Yeah, exactly. So automatically makes you move. I said. The lyric layers categorize the song as it's like sensual indulgence.
Well, I would say that's like most of her album.
It is. Okay, so this is where I disagree with what he's saying about this.
I'm not saying that the verses don't have some sort of meaning.
I know.
But I think the term 8 is just supposed to like get stuck in your head and go viral.
Right. So this is what she said. Okay, she said this in an interview. 8 represents being 8, like being eaten out kind of thing. And 2 lyrics that go with it are like, treat this like some food, ain't the point of cake just to eat it. So she's saying that's what it means.
Yeah, I also think like compared to a lot of the other songs where that had this sort of like lyrical theme.
Yeah.
This one is a lot more like simple and
very simple.
Kind of
10 minus 2 is 8.
To me, not written as well.
Right. I agree. No, it's not. When you keep saying 10 minus 2 is 8.
Well, even like you're saying like these like lyrical like what you're saying, like I can see that.
Right.
But like there are songs where I don't know, it just feels like it's like Crash. The lyrics on that are also, that's another reason why I like it. It's very deep.
Right.
And then this one comes, and this is like literally the opposite.
So this is what
this
a
is like
review
Post
said.
Malone or Doja Cat style lyrics.
It says she is finding pleasure from mathematical equations.
Yeah, okay.
That was another thing that came across. I'm like, okay, so she loves someone because of math? Like, what? That was weird.
Hey, some people do that, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But,
so that's 8.
Yeah, I guess that's 8. The next song we picked, this is one I thought you were going to pick.
I know, I almost did. Like I said, it was difficult for me to pick, like, songs.
You mentioned What I Want before, too, and I thought you were going to pick that one, too, because it was the Christina Aguilera sample. But anyway, the next one is Susia with Jill Scott and Young Miko. And, like, Susia, like, this one, like Crash, stands out instrumentally.
Yes.
It's like a lot, even though it fits into like the theme of the album, it's a lot heavier, I would say.
Right, instrumentally, and then when it goes near the end, just not instrument, but just musically, the whole vibe changes in this. So I love like the vibe that comes later in the song.
Yeah, it's super. So the reason I thought you would pick this actually is because I don't know how much we've talked about this, but you were history teacher for a long time, specifically like ancient history,
Mm-hmm.
and you love Egyptian stuff, and she has a lot of like Egyptian like art and stuff.
Right. The cool thing is that students brought me things from Egypt.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
And the melody for this immediately gives me like Snake Charmer,
Yep.
like Egypt or like Arab like music.
Right. You have to listen to this song.
It's
just
really,
it is.
really interesting.
It is. I mean, when I heard that part of it, I was like moving, like
or like belly dancing or
yep.
something.
Oh, it is. It's when it gets to that part,
it's very
I love
slow
it.
and deep.
Mm-hmm.
The first like minute or so of the song has Jill Scott actually doing like a spoken word like verse, basically about like female empowerment and like sexuality,
right?
Which is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
One, I haven't heard Jill Scott in a long time, and it's just awesome to get this kind of thing from her on this album too. And then the rest of the vocals on the song are great as well.
Yes.
Like Kehlani sounds like awesome on this kind of melody.
Yes.
I would love to hear her sing on this, even though like I'm sure it's not easy to make this kind of music because it's a very unique song.
Right. They put a lot of thought into this. A lot of thought.
Her voice is almost like hypnotizing, like in the way the melody is.
Right.
It melts into it.
I forgot. I think I said sucia in Spanish. Oh, it means dirty.
Okay.
That's what it means is dirty.
Yeah, or like nasty.
Yeah. So, and that's part of the song's theme. So
then I think Young Miko's verse is like great.
Yes.
I actually reviewed Young Miko's album ATT like a couple of months ago. She's like a Puerto Rican rapper.
Okay.
And I thought it was like really good, and because like she's endorsed by Bad Bunny, but like to me she has like a similar kind of like vibe where her sound can fit with like American artists really well, like her voice. I thought she would be start getting more features on like American music.
Yes.
And so it's like cool that like she got like this, but I would not expect her to be featured on something like this.
Correct.
Like I would expect her to be featured on like Travis Scott or something. And she sounds really cool on this.
She does. It's such a good song.
Young Miko has a very raspy voice, like a kind of a deep tone for like a woman rapper. And the way it like contrasts, like I don't know, like I guess like the sweetness of the rest of this like sounds really cool.
I agree.
To me. And it really like I don't know, it gives the song texture, because like
that's a good word. Texture.
It has like this very like smooth, almost like you said, like hypnotic feeling with with Kehlani's vocals too.
Right.
And then like she like breaks it up.
Yeah, that's a good word, texture. There's a lot of texture in this song. 100%.
And like you said, like it's about like I said, it's about like woman empowerment and sexuality, and like really like embracing yourself.
Yes.
And like you said, that term susha means like nasty or dirty, and some of the lyrics definitely like lean into that.
Correct.
But that, I don't know, I think it's a really unique and really cool song for this album.
It is really good.
And like if like for someone like me who like didn't know a lot about Kehlani and associated their music with like something like Kehlani'S, to hear something like this, I'm like, wow, like I didn't know this was something she could do at all.
Right. Going back to the song 8, that song really got me because of the intro part of it. But that's why I picked that one. But this would have been one of my top picks too. The sound of it is so good, so good.
Like if you were to like buy this record, this and Crash would be songs I can imagine sounding like really cool on vinyl.
Right. Oh, 100%. Actually, ironically, I did look for the vinyl of this yesterday and I couldn't find it.
I don't know if they're out yet.
Yeah, I tried. I was at a music store and I tried to look for the vinyl, but I couldn't find it.
That place, it seems a little slow with newer stuff though.
I agree.
I've noticed that,
which
is fine.
Yeah,
but
a little shout out to Lilliput.
Yeah,
so
if you love older stuff,
yes,
they have everything.
Yes.
But anyway, that's Susha. The next song we picked, or another one my mom's picked, is Better Not. This
I
so
love this song.
when I wrote about this one, I kind of wrote that because I'm not like super into country, as you know. I'm just not into it at all. But
So when you listened to it, did you know she made it to be a country song?
well, I could just tell.
Okay, I didn't know if like you like so she actually said, I want this to be a country song
Yeah.
when she like started putting the music together.
Oh, I think I wrote that one. I think it's cool that she would like do country because I
Yeah.
would not expect country from her at all.
Right. Like I said in the beginning, all the music is like different.
Yeah.
Like Susha, different texture to it. This one, completely different texture
And-
to it.
This, and I like said, I think this is good for what it is. It's just like not my thing. Like for example, like 8, like to me, it's like that kind of is my thing, but that
I
one,
didn't like that.
just I'm not into it that much. But this one, I'm not like into this kind of music, but I can appreciate it's done very well.
Did you know I would pick this one? Like in
Oh,
your head, where
yeah,
you're like, yeah,
definitely.
she's picking that
Yeah.
one. Yep.
Also, I will say this style of country music is not the style that I'm usually like not into. I would
Right.
say I'm more like against like the bro country, like the country pop stuff. This seems a little more like inspired by older country.
I agree. I love
Maybe
old
like
country.
60s
He knows
country.
that. Oh, I love old
That to
country.
me, this sounds more inspired by that than like other modern country.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I guess I'll let you talk about Better Not.
So again, it reminded me of a country song right off the bat, and then I actually found that in an interview she said, I wanted this to be a country song, so I thought that was cool. Her voice when she sings during these lyrics, and you're not wrong because you're not mine. I would dance this dance with you in every life, though we're just a little more than friends. That like part of the song, you can hear that it's like a country song. I mean, you
Yeah.
just hear it in the music and the instruments that brings you into country. And it's not like when I'm saying country, it's not like twangy or anything like that.
Even the lyrics feel a little more country.
The lyrics here
Yeah.
were very country. Those lyrics are very country. So I mean, it's not like Kane Brown, like you said. It's not like modern, and
or like
it's
Morgan
not like
Wallen, or it doesn't.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't sound like
right.
that.
And it's not like old like Charlie Pride or Tammy Wynette. It's like in the middle.
yeah,
In the middle.
I would say that.
Yeah, like I agree with you. So I researched, like I said, the meaning of the song when I first started writing it, and that's when I found out that she actually had an interview with Capitalism, and in the interview she said it was an interlude. I had a couple of clicks and a little guitar loop, and I was like, we should produce it for real, and then I should sing it as a country song. It's a situation song of dang. I really rock with you, and I also can't be mad at anything you're doing because you're technically not mine, and that's what came out in the lyrics. But also, don't ever do. Then she says no shit a lot in it, like I'm not taking your shit, and so she's like, but even though we're not technically mine, and I like you, just don't do that shit anymore. You know, that whatever is part of the relationship. So, it is. It is a country song. It really is. Like, you're not mine, I love you, but don't do that shit again.
I could see this one being like another one that would be like good live.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
sure she would play it. I think it would actually be cool if she played this acoustically.
Right, I agree.
Like,
I could see
with
this
none
like
of the other instruments or anything.
they have like country bars, you know, that play, and this
Yeah.
definitely should be played in a
Actually,
country bar.
in fact, I would maybe think like this song more, like, or an acoustic version of this song more.
Right. Oh,
like-
that would be good.
Like, it would be cool to me if like it was just that melody and her voice.
Yes. Yeah.
Like-
yeah. That's pure country.
Yeah,
I mean, a
'cause
lot of country
that would
people
feel
do that.
a lot more
Definitely,
old school.
100%.
But
So
yeah,
that's
that's better not.
So good, so
Oh.
good. Oops, sorry.
the wrong one. The last song we picked was one of my picks. It's Tears. It's another song I've been listening to a good amount.
Okay.
To me, I would say this is a song that probably is like the closest to what I would have expected from Kehlani.
Okay, and it features, what do you say his name is?
Omale.
Oh, Omale.
Omale.
Is that a guy or a girl?
It was a guy.
Okay, it is a guy. All right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't tell with people. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes they have that rough voice, and
That's
you're like,
true.
which one is it? Yeah.
Yeah. But But yeah, it's like it has a kind of similar feeling to After Hours. It's like upbeat, like dance floor R&B pop music.
I keep thinking of Weekend when we say After Hours.
But to me, this one is a little, and it like probably leans into the sound of the feature a little more like Amapiano or like Afro pop.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds a little like African pop music.
Right. That's why
which is very big right now, and it's, you know, you relate it to The Weeknd. The Weeknd like definitely like incorporates that into his music.
Right. That's why I said in the beginning, she like incorporates her nationalities into the music.
Well,
so
is she like South African? I don't think so.
She's African American. And I don't know where from, but African American. But you hear the Spanish, you hear the Filipino in many songs throughout.
But yeah, no, that Afro pop sound is becoming like pretty big.
It is.
I would say.
It is. I agree.
And like once again, maybe it's just because of like the quicker nature of the popular nature of the song.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the vocals aren't as like pronounced on this one.
100%.
But like that's okay because it's meant to just like get you moving or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the Ariana Grande songs that like you would hear at the club or whatever,
mm-hmm.
they're probably not the ones where she's like going crazy with her vocals, right?
Not
like,
at all. Yeah,
that's
it's
not
the
point.
instrumental that's getting you. Mm-hmm.
And I really like the lyrical sentiment of this song. Because like she's basically like calling out someone who like must have like turned her away or them away.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, why are you like crying over me like in the club right now?
Right.
Like, is it the alcohol? Is it the drugs? Do you actually want me back?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like you must be, because this person must be very wishy-washy.
Yes. Yeah.
That.
So like it's kind of like you get in a fight with someone and they're bawling and you're like, why the hell are you crying?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like, do you like you didn't care 10 minutes ago?
Exactly.
Like now you're crying.
Yeah.
Now you
so
care.
Is it the alcohol?
Yeah,
is it the drugs that's making you like this? Because goodness knows if you're your age or whatever, you've seen that for sure.
Yeah, because they're like, it's definitely not me.
No.
You know, it's not me based on like how you were acting before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just think, especially because it's so upbeat and you can hear this, I can imagine like seeing this like in the club.
I can just see, and I can see people doing this in the club.
Yeah.
I can visualize it.
I like that. I like that sentiment. I think it's like a cool like little like quirky like lyrical thing.
Yep.
But yeah, that's Tears. Before I talk about how I feel, I guess although you've been kind of talking about how you feel, I'll let you talk about like what you would give this album, how you'd rate it.
I would rate it a 9 or a 9.5.
Wow.
Yeah, like you said, I didn't expect it. I did not expect I did not expect this album at all. Like, I have listened to this album multiple times.
Did you know anything about Kehlani?
Knew nothing about her. Nothing at all. And so I figured you knew something about her.
Which I actually really didn't.
Right. Yeah. And I was really, so as I was listening, I'm like, oh, he really did pick a good one. It is overall a great album, in my opinion. And like I said, I had a difficult time choosing only 3 songs, which is very rare for me. So I would give it a 9 or a 9.5. And I'm telling you, it is worth listening to this album. It really is. Like I said, if she goes in concert somewhere and she happens to be in the area, I'm going.
When I wrote about it, I think I gave it about like a 7-ish or a little better than that.
Wow.
And which, I mean, that's still a good score.
Still a good score, but I mean,
bad.
compared to what mine is, yeah.
But like in the last, because we didn't record last week. In the last couple of weeks, since I've been like listening to this a couple more times,
mm-hmm.
I think I would say I like it more. It's grown on me.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that it's funny, it's your favorite thing, but one thing that did push me away a little bit is how scattered the sound is sometimes.
Right, I loved that. Well, when I found out her nationalities, you could hear it in different songs, and I like that.
Some of the albums that like I've like really liked, like mm-hmm. for example, I like that Tinashe one a lot more than you. One reason is because I really like albums where like the sound like transitions super well.
Correct. Yeah,
that's
this
just something I'm into, and for
this
what
is
it's worth,
not-
this does not do that.
Right, and I guess that's why I like it. And I remember when we did the Post Malone one.
Yeah.
I liked that too. You didn't like
yeah, I
that
didn't
album,
like it at all.
right?
Yeah.
But he was all over the place. Like one song sounded a little more popish, the
Yeah.
next one was a little more rap, and then you had like country feel. I loved it because I just felt that he was experimenting with how he
I
wanted to sound.
appreciate that,
And
like,
she was too. She's experimenting.
I don't like think that's bad, and I like the best elements of this. Like, it would be cool to see her like make it more into like a better theme on maybe like a record in the future.
Right. Right.
Like finding like the best things out of this.
Yeah.
Because like there are artists I like who do that. Like Drake is obviously known. Well, maybe you're not allowed to like Drake anymore, but you know, Drake is known for like his albums feel more like playlists
Yes.
than albums.
Right.
Because every song will be so different, and to me this is like that. Where
Maybe
like,
she'll be like Beyonce and go country. Maybe she'll do a whole country
well,
album.
even Beyonce's country album, it flows insane.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Insane.
It
And it's an
does.
hour and a half, which is nuts, but
Oh, yeah.
that's a different note.
Right.
But for like there are songs that I really like on this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So like I can appreciate like its quality in that way for sure.
Yeah.
And one thing I've realized in the last couple of weeks, like re-listening to this, two of my favorite albums of the year were the Billie Eilish "Hit Me Hard and Soft" and Charlie XCX's album. And one of the reasons I like those so much,
Mm-hmm.
besides the sound, is because of how weirdly specific the lyrics seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlie especially, like to the point where you can literally figure out which famous people she's talking about in these songs.
Yeah, you can.
Or like the one Apple, which is like you can easily just tell she's straight up talking about her mom and dad.
Right.
And I like, to me, like you can, although like I don't know who Kehlani'S talking about.
Right. No.
These songs are very lyrically specific, and I dig that. That's something I'm into.
Right. Right. I would say like you were talking about your two favorite, Billie Eilish and this one are my two favorite of the year for sure.
Well, I mean, you gave Charlie a high score too.
I did too. Yeah, I gave her a high score, but I
like,
just
you know,
I
yeah.
love Billie.
But yeah, like I said, I really like albums that do that. You know, another artist I really like is Schoolboy Q, and he
Yes.
is known. His lyrics are very like
Yeah.
specific.
There's a lot of albums, great albums we've listened to.
But that's probably my favorite thing about
Okay.
about this album
Okay.
is the fact. It's just like how, I don't know, like not like deep the lyrics are, but like it almost feels like they're talking to you.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a great way of saying it. Yep.
Yeah, and that's really cool.
Yep.
But yeah, that overall, I'd give it. I think I would raise it from a 7. I might go back and change my score to like a 7.5-ish.
Okay.
I think it's good. I think they're like Crash is probably one of my favorite songs of the year. That's the thing.
Oh, it is so good. It is so good.
Like I think that's a great song.
And Better Not Sorry, I like the country part.
But so like that's like a weird thing for me where it's like I really like some of these songs.
Mhm.
I just kind of wish it flowed
Better.
a little
Okay,
bit better.
okay.
Even though the sound is really cool to me.
Right, right. It doesn't even
And-
have to be a story sort of thing. It's just, yeah, the flow's not there. It's
Yeah.
not. It's different instrumentally. It's just all over the place.
And like I want to shout out like how I didn't know that Kehlani could even like do a lot of this kind of music. Like I've mentioned what I thought it would sound like, and it does not sound like that, and that's super cool to me to go into this kind of expecting something and be like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
this is like I feel like for we both kind of did that with Billy, where it's like
Oh, 100%.
I didn't know that's what it was gonna be.
I 100% didn't know.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's really cool, and that's really cool about this too.
Well, like I said in the very beginning too, I felt she had R&B, pop, country, EDM, soft
There's a
metal.
lot of-
like
yeah.
songs were just going all over the place.
There's a lot of songs with like Crash in particular, with like a very funky
Mhm.
like rock sound,
Right.
almost like you mentioned metal-ish.
Yeah, soft metal was my thing.
But like weirdly maybe like Smoke on the Water, like that kind of music.
Wow, you are really
Like
going
Deep
back.
Purple.
See, I made them listen. I didn't make them, but when they were little, I would I would play music all the time. So like by the time you guys were like 5 years old, you knew stuff that like people your age wouldn't even know.
Well, I connect everything to everything. That's what I do when I write too.
Yeah.
But like I would say that Lenny Kravitz is probably like a little bit inspired by that.
Oh, yes,
as well
definitely.
as Prince.
Yes,
But
definitely.
anyway, that's a tangent. That's Crash by Kehlani. This was like a cool surprise, I would say, and I'm glad you like this one. I thought that you would, so I was happy.
Definitely.
I was happy I did well on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And we're
East
Eastside
Side
Vibes.
Vibes.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.